Hi, I'm Rachel New, dating and relationships coach, and today I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you prepare for that first date. So my first tip is to do some work on feeling good about yourself before the date. If you don't feel good about yourself, then that vibe will really come across. If you're not relaxed, you're not at ease with yourself, you're not feeling comfortable with yourself, and if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself. So some work on what you have to offer a date or a relationship, if that's what you're looking for, and what it is you actually like about yourself, I think makes a really big difference to those nuanced impressions that you make on a date that can't necessarily be pinned down to particular ways of behaving or facial expressions or body language, but they do come across. So work on feeling good about yourself and what you like about yourself. So my second tip for preparing for a date is to think about what the purpose of the date is. What is it that you want to get out of the date? What will constitute a good date for you? And it doesn't have to be the same as for somebody else. Perhaps you are looking for a long-term relationship. Perhaps you're in the early stages of dating and you're still getting to know what it is that you like about other people and what actually is involved in dating. You may be only having a few dates so far, and so you're not very experienced, and so maybe your aim is just to get more positive experiences of having dates, and that's okay. I think as long as you make it clear to the other person that that's what you're looking for. And sometimes if we're not very confident, it can just be a good way to connect with another human being, find out you've got things in common, learn something about the other person, and have a good time not thinking about yourself. So lots of different possible aims for the date. And so it's good to be clear what your purpose is and what perhaps the next step would be if you want to, for example, have another date with that person. So that's my tip number 2, to be clear about what the purpose of the date is for you and what a good date would look like for you. So my third tip for preparing for a date is to prepare some questions so that you can get the conversation down to a deeper level and have some interesting conversations. Sometimes we can just have entertaining discussions on a date which are quite superficial, and that can leave both people feeling a little bit dissatisfied and like you haven't really got to know what the person is like. So if you prepare some questions, that can help people to open up a little bit more, to find out more about their personalities and their interests and what's important to them. So they can just be some simple questions. You could start off with talking about the venue that you've chosen for your date. What do you think of the venue? Do you often come to these kinds of places, whether it's a coffee shop or a bar or whatever? What do you like to do with your friends? What kind of places do you like to visit? All of those can be good follow-up questions from talking about the venue. So that's a good icebreaker at the beginning. And then you could ask questions like, what energizes or inspires you? What makes you get out of bed in the morning? What do you like about your job? What are your plans for the rest of the year? Do you have any goals? What's your ideal weekend? Lots of good simple questions that can generate some follow-up questions. So do prepare follow-up questions for each of those as well. And of course, don't forget to prepare some answers, because if they're answering your question, they're probably going to want to ask the same question back if they've got good social skills. Always a good tip. So try to prepare some questions that you're prepared to answer as well. So those are my 3 top tips. So tip number 1 was to feel good about yourself and what you think about what you like about yourself. Tip number 2 is to think about the purpose of the date, what you want out of it. And tip number 3 is to prepare some good questions that will lead to a rich, interesting conversation. So good luck with preparing for your date, and let me know how it goes. If you'd like a set of free dating questions for your date, then please subscribe to my mailing list and you'll get a link to the questions. So go to rachelnewdatingcoach.co.uk to subscribe.